erosion of the beach. Or we could use the opportunity to rebuild it in a different configuration. And Jerry O'Reilly is going to talk more about what some of the options are there. But as a policy, FDOT is going to listen to public input here tonight. We're going to listen to what the city of Fort Lauderdale has to say. And there are some things that we are the owner of A1A. We're obligated to do certain things. And some things we're going to insist on. For instance, whatever the new configuration is going to have bike lanes on both sides. That's something that we insist on. The lanes are going to be properly designed. They're going to be an appropriate width, et cetera, et cetera. However, the key question of does it have to be 4 lanes, or can it be 2 lanes, or can it be 2 lanes with a 3rd lane for left turns? And we've already reviewed that. We've looked at the traffic numbers. And if the city desires, makes that selection, that it should be reduced to 3 lanes, that's 1 lane in each direction plus a left turn lane, then we would reconstruct the road in that manner. But that would be a city decision that we would agree to. And frankly, we would not agree to that if we did not think that it was reasonable. It is a reasonable choice with reasonable traffic conditions if that were done. It's also reasonable for the city to determine that we should restore the road to its prior condition as 4 lanes, and we would also do that. Money. We have the money for the sheet pile out of emergency pot, something over $2 million immediately available to us to do that short-term repairs that I was talking about. We also, FDOT has set aside in our work program over $3 million for the rebuild, whatever is decided upon for A1A. And if that is insufficient for that scope of work, then we will find the money. So the money for the roadway reconstruction is not an issue. It's only the engineering schedule of making it happen. With that, I think I'd like to go to Cleo Martin, who can talk about the history of what has happened since Sandy, our responses to it, and what he thinks is going to be happening in the short term until we get it fully stabilized.
Before we do that, if there's any ladies in the back that need a seat, we've got a few more seats up here. Come on up and grab a seat. Preferably, we can let the ladies come up. A couple of seats. We've got 6 seats here. We'll try to bring a few more.
More coming.
Good evening. Really pleased to see the crowd that came out tonight. And I know the interest. Basically, we got started on this thing on first thing Friday morning. We were like the city. We thought we'd have a nice 4-day weekend, but it turns out that Maria Conley, who is the district maintenance engineer, Jerry O'Reilly, the director of planning and production, and myself, the 3 of us met out there early Friday morning. And we saw one gentleman walking around there. We didn't know for sure who he was, and that was Lee Feldman. He was walking around, and then later we got Albert Carbone on the phone, and we were talking with him, and he was out there also. So, that shows that, the city was very committed, and I want you to know that, the department was also committed. Well,